Well, Pope Francis at the moment has a lung infection. It looks as if he's turning a corner, and the assumption is he comes back for a period of convalescence and then goes back to being Pope. I think some of the speculation, though, is about what if the long-term prognosis of his health is very, very poor? Under what circumstances then might he consider resigning? And I think it's pretty clear that for Francis, the papacy's for life. He's shown that he has no problem with being a frail pope, an elderly pope, a pope in a wheelchair, and he can fulfill the papal mission in lots of different ways. I think, however, what he has said is that if he had a long-term debilitating or degenerative condition that prevented him from fully carrying out the papal ministry, he, or indeed any future pope, would of course consider the possibility. That's the door that Benedict opened. And I think for Francis, it's been very important to send the message that the papacy is for life. And just the way he has lived out that mission shows that. But of course, if his health were to become a huge distraction, or if he couldn't basically do what popes must do, which is have lots of contact with people and, give plenty of talks and so on, then I'm sure he would consider the possibility. But I don't consider it likely at the moment. We have to wait to see how he is when he comes out.
And where are you from?
When Cardinal Parolin, the Secretary of State, visited Pope Francis, he came back with a signed document declaring that the Pope will be creating new saints and announcing that there will be a meeting of cardinals here in Rome to do that. That's called a consistory. Now, in 2013, Pope Benedict famously announced that he would resign at just such a meeting. So people are reading into it. All I would say is, well, he clearly has the means of doing it if that's what he wanted to do, but it doesn't mean that he will. I think by instinct, by nature, by character, Pope Francis is a person who would imagine himself as Pope, dying with his boots on, as it were. He's a man of action. He's shown in the last few weeks, some might say, a certain recklessness about his health. For him, it's all in. However, if he's made it through, he's going to be alive for a while longer, hopefully many years longer. But the doctors say to him, look, you have a long-term prognosis here, which is going to make it very hard for you to exercise the papal ministry, then he would probably have to think about it. I think, we have to remember, and he has said this, it's the good of the church that has to come first. And these are very, very complex decisions that he would have to make, many, many different goods he would have to weigh. But he is a pope who is always open to God's will. He's not bound in that sense by any obligation other than what God wants. And I'm sure that he would want the freedom to do that, to make that decision.
Si vede bene?